Have you ever noticed how certain phrases become the soundtrack of your life? It could be, life's too short, or you only live once. Well, for me, it's 5 simple words my parents would always repeat as a gentle reminder throughout the years. Just be a good person. It is more than advice. It is a legacy, a philosophy that shapes the choices I make and the people I let into my world. Some of you here see me each day talking in a house with a bunch of different people. You see me smiling, laughing, stressing over deadlines, all in their company, but what you don't know is that those people, they don't know me, they're just around me. Hello everyone, my name is Stoyanova, and today I invite you to join me on a journey beyond the mere presence of people. An exploration of those who stand not just around us, but right next to us. Now, we've all heard the statement by Jim Rohn that we're the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. But have we really invested our minds into that? Have we truly understood what power the people beside us have on us? Well, unfortunately, we haven't, and that's the reason why so many people are unhappy and constantly negative. It's because the 5 people they spend the most time with make them feel unhappy. Now, there's a really thin border between the 5 people we spend the most time with and our 5 closest people. And we have to be really careful about that border because it's not very easily distinguishable and can sometimes confuse us. For example, imagine you're a middle-aged woman with a big family, great husband, 4 wonderful kids. Logically, your husband and your kids would be your 5 closest people. But you also work 9 to 5 at a bank where you have 5 idiots for colleagues. Those 5 idiots constantly annoy you, they tire you, they exhaust you. So if you spend 8 hours of your day at work, 1 hour to get to work, 1 hour to go back home, and 8 hours of your day sleeping, that leaves a maximum of only 6 hours for family time. So, think about it. Who do you spend the most time with? Unfortunately, it's your colleagues rather than your family. So, instead of being loved and supported, loving and supportive, you become constantly tired, annoyed, and exhausted. Now, I want you to think of your 5 people. Keep them in mind during this talk and try to figure out how they make you feel, and ultimately, if they are good people. So, all of you here have bank accounts, right? And I'm sure you're very careful with how much you withdraw from them and what you invest in. Well, just like we have bank accounts, we have emotional bank accounts. These emotional bank accounts are there to store 2 things: our time and our energy. Now, when you make an investment, you expect the money you invest to come back to you, right? But if you invest in something worthless, there's no way anything's coming back. The same goes for your emotional bank account. If you invest your time and your energy into relationships with not good people, it's not exactly an investment, but a withdrawal. It's like you're throwing all of your emotional resources away. So if you invest your time and your energy into not good people, you eventually go broke. And who wants that? Let me give you another example. Imagine you're a tower, the Tower of Self. And around you, you're surrounded by several fortress walls that protect you from the not good people. Now you decide who you let pass through those walls and who will stay behind them. If you let a not good person get close to your tower, they will destroy your tower with toxicity and negativity. They will destroy you. Let me tell you how I put that tactic into practice. At this current moment, everyone in this room has an opinion of me. You've been listening to me for the past 4 minutes, so it's inevitable that you do. You might be thinking, why is this 17-year-old giving me life advice? What does she know, right? Or you might be thinking, wow, I would never have the courage to go out on stage. But you know what? I wouldn't care what 95% of you think, because you have not yet passed any of my fortress protective walls. Yes, you might be good people, you might have good intentions, but I don't know that yet. And I have to take advantage of my fortress walls because they're there to protect me. And I certainly don't want to be defeated. That's why I only let people that are good to me close to my tower. Now, what do I mean by good to me? In order for someone to be good to me, they first need to be good in general. They need to be honest, humble, respectful, just good. But good to me, that's raising it to the next level. It's a bit more personal. The people that are good to me get excited for me. They tell me when I'm wrong. They love me, support me, and constantly remind me why I'm doing what I'm doing. Those are the people that I let close to my tower. Those are the people that I know are worth investing in. Now let me tell you a story featuring the king and queen of good people, my mom and dad. The people who never fail to remind me to be a good person. Exactly 1.5 years ago, in the winter of 2022, my family and I were on a vacation in France. Back then, I was the most introverted, non-communicative girl who had relatively big dreams, but I never thought I could achieve them. I don't know what came over me, but on that vacation, I somehow forgot that I don't like talking, and I started rambling for the whole 4 days that we were there. And on one of those days, I told my mom and dad, you know what? One day, I will be on stage, and I'll talk in front of a bunch of people. Might not seem like a big deal to most people, but let me remind you, I was so introverted that no one could even think that I'll ever get on stage. So I don't know why or how I even thought of that, but I did, and I became super excited about it. My parents probably thought that I was crazy, and they most likely don't even remember that interaction, but I do. I remember that they became excited for me. They became excited with me. In simple words, they were good to me. And you know what? At this current moment, I am on stage. And you know what? I'm talking in front of a bunch of people. So, be good to people so that their biggest fears and biggest dreams don't seem so scary. Be good to people so that they feel special and loved. Be good to people so that your goodness inspires them. Let me bring you back to the 5 people scenario. When we are teenagers, the people we surround ourselves with change many, many times. At least that's what happens in most cases. I don't know what happens in the adult world, but I would assume that most adults don't change their circle of people very often. Well, I'm still a teenager, and the people that I've surrounded myself with in the past years have changed a few times. And I've noticed that I went from a non-talkative, stay in the room all day, mean teenager, to a talkative, but a constantly negative shit talker, and now to a more positive and lighthearted young adult. And all of those 3 radically different phases were provoked by the people I surrounded myself with, by my 5 people. What I mean by that is that you have full control of building your personality and your habits by choosing who you surround yourself with. Find who inspires you, find who you want to become, and befriend them. Let them mentor you. It's in your full control to befriend good people in order to become a good person. Now, we know that we need to be good, we know how to be good, we know that we need good people beside us, but how do we actually do that? Well, it's pretty simple. By being a good person. John Wooden, a basketball coach, said the following thing: good values attract good people. The simple idea here is that if you are a leader of value, you attract people with the same values. Values are like a magnet, so it seems that when you make your values visible, you attract people with the same values. So, you basically attract the energy and the values that you exert. So by being positive, you attract positive people. By being a good person, you attract good people. So, put in 5 simple words, just be a good person. Thank you. And to my mom and dad, благодаря ви, че ме направихте добър човек.